Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. A double-header day finally comes to an end. A long day for everybody watching and covering the sport. And of course, it was DC versus MI in the first game. Delhi Capitals won their second on a trot, and GT versus RR in the evening. And once again, Rajasthan Royals double whammy. So it was a double whammy day for RR and DC, who have now registered 2 wins each in the tournament. So far, 2 out of 2. They've started off their campaigns on the right foot. But let's start talking about the DC versus MI game. It was a sluggish wicket. I had said in the pre match show as well that the ball is expected to grip, while Mumbai Indians were, let's say, 15 to 20 runs short. DC was also really effective with the ball and kept taking wickets on regular intervals. On the other hand, if you look at the second innings, while there was a shaky start, it was Samir Rizwi who impressed once again, and he had the crowd in the palm of his hand with the way that he was batting tonight. So it was, and of course, you also have to mention Pathum Nisanka, because the partnership between Pathum Nisanka and Samir Rizvi is what laid the foundation for later David Miller to finish up. I'll start with you, Shomik. Looking back on the day, obviously the highlight here is Pathum Nisanka and Samir Rizvi, but 22-year-old Samir Rizvi and the way that he's turned things around for himself with DC, it's really brilliant to watch.
Yeah, Gargi, absolutely. Redemption time for him. I mean, he went to Chennai Super Kings for sort of 8 crore and got weighed down by the price tag. It can happen. Whoever says that I'm not bothered about the price tag, yeah, we have seen that it happens. Now, Delhi Capitals have brought him in for something around 90 or 95 lakh. He doesn't have that pressure, and he has always been a good striker of the ball. That is why Chennai Super Kings had picked him. So it's good that a youngster is finding his feet in a tough league like the IPL. So it's very good, and it augurs very, very well for Delhi Capitals. But more impressive was the collective effort of Delhi Capitals. It's not about only Samir Rizvi and Pathum Nisanka. The way they played collective cricket, they are better in terms of bowling than Mumbai Indians. They are better collectively. They are better as far as batting is concerned than Mumbai Indians, and also they fielded well. So it's a very good collective effort, and I mean they were very, very impressive. They deserve to win, absolutely deserve to win. And you started off with the Kotla pitch, Gargi. I felt, I mean, it is, I mean, this has been a pattern since the World Cup. World Cup also, if you see, if you the thing is that the average score was sort of 160, 165. It is sort of that old Sitaram special is back at Kotla.
Absolutely, it's always been like this, and I think at the end, during the World Cup, the pitches were tired as well, because there was so much domestic cricket as well that was played on these on some of the domestic venues. So it was expected for the pitches to play out like that, and then right after the World Cup, you have the IPL. So really, no time for the pitches to rest there. Bharat, I'll go over to you next. Amir Rizvi, in a conversation with our colleague Rohit Juglan for Ref Sports, did say that he wants to bat at number 4 ahead of the IPL, and he stressed on the fact that when he comes out to bat at number 4, he wants to finish the game. This sort of intent from a young batter is always welcome, and he's been able to deliver on his promise.
Yeah, not just intent. I think he's upgraded his game. There was a time when he played for Chennai Super Kings that people said that he can't play fast bowling. To some extent, perhaps it was true as well. He used to struggle against fast bowling. I think he's gone somewhere back to the drawing board and worked hard on his game. He looks like he's now at least he's upgraded his game against fast bowling. So I think he's just getting the rewards for all the hard work. Yes, he always had the intent. We could see it in even in I think UP league when he played in local UP leagues. One could see that kind of intent. He was always known as a good player of spin. All those things one could notice it before too. Yes, he's now batting at number 4, but I think the most important factor to look at with the Rizvi is I think he's improved his game against fast bowling in the world of IPL. If you have to succeed, then you definitely have to be a good player of pace bowling as well. So I think that is what is I think helping Rizvi to do better than what he did for Chennai Super Kings in the past.
Absolutely. And Shorjani, if you look at Samir Rizvi's innings, the one thing that stands out is the variation of shots that he was playing, because Mumbai Indian bowlers really tried everything. They tried pace on, they tried pace off, they tried some wide yorkers, they tried into the body, but nothing was working on Samir Rizvi, just because of the amount of shots that he had in his kitty and how comfortable he looked hitting those shots.
I mean, definitely. And I think, again, when we talk a little about Delhi Capitals, I think KL Rahul, he departed early today and he could not score runs. We saw that he got out for a duck in the previous match, and today he was able to score only 1 run. And I think Pathum Nisanga, on the other hand, also he was doing well. He was rotating the strike. I mean, as we saw it during the Mumbai Indians innings, the runs, if the bowlers maintained tight lines, then it would be a little difficult for the batters to score. And we saw it during the innings that the Mumbai Indians were batting. And I think even Nitish Rana, he went out early. So Samir Rizvi, I really feel that he's an excellent touch because, like I mentioned, when Mumbai Indians, when they were batting, it looked like a completely different pitch. It was difficult. The runs were not coming in easily. It was a little sluggish, like you mentioned. And I think it was just top pure class and dominance from Samir Rizvi, because we saw it in the previous matches where he was calm, he was composed. He, anchored the innings for Delhi in the previous match, and today also scoring 90 runs. I kind of hoped for him to, get his century. He did not, and I'm a little sad about it. But again, having said that, he did a very good job, and by the time he was dismissed, the job was already done for Delhi Capitals. So I think he has really done what he was asked to do. He went out there and he did help Delhi win the match.
Absolutely. Shomik, DC looks like a very well balanced squad at the moment. Once you get the top order firing, I think it'll look much more stronger. And then you have an addition of someone like a Mitchell Stark. What do you think Stark's addition, it makes them so much more dangerous?
Exactly. This is exactly what I was talking about on our pre-show. And basically, see, there was a gap in that Delhi batting order as the second power hitter in the middle order. And by bringing on David Miller, they have plugged that gap. So they are one of the teams that had a very good auction. A lot depends on the auction strategy. If you look at their thought process, now Pathum Nisanga and KL Rahul are opening the innings. When Mitchell Stark will come, and if they Mitchell Stark will straight away walk into the playing 11, fine. So they will have to make do with one of their overseas. So if they decide to drop Pathum Nisanga, they have a backup ready in Prithvi Shaw. So the way they went about their squad selection at the auction, that was very impressive. And last year also Delhi Capitals played well. In fact, they slide on the home patch, which was a bit unexpected, and that was the reason they could qualify for the playoffs. But once again, that middle order gap, and they made it a point, and they focused on plugging that loophole, and they did that. And I totally agree with you, Gargi. They are looking very, very balanced side. They might not have too many that so-called X factors in their team. On paper, that so-called X factors they might not have in their team, but overall, this team is greater than the sum of their parts.
100%. And they're performing like a unit, which is exactly what you want. If you look at today's first innings as well, the kind of effort that the bowling unit put in, it was brilliant to watch. This is a DC team that actually looks like it's stepping into the IPL season with in contention to win the title and not just there to participate. So good on
Exactly.
DC, good on the way that they've rebuilt their squad in the auction as well. They've got some good buys there. Bharat, coming to the next game now, Rajasthan Royals versus Gujarat Titans at home. Home for Gujarat Titans, not Rajasthan Royals, of course. And this is something that we were discussing, for the past couple of days. Rajasthan Royals, when Vaibhav Suryavanshi does not perform, does not give that aggressive start, are they still the same batting order? As what happens when Vaibhav Suryavanshi is batting at a strike rate of 300. And I think that question pretty much was answered today with the way that Yashasvi Jaiswal was batting with Dhruv Jurel 75, and of course a cameo from Shimron Hetmeyer as well.
Yeah, they still obviously would depend on Vaibhav Suryavanshi to give that kind of a start, because he's someone who can go at a strike rate of 300, 250. So that always helps. See, Jaiswal is a good player. He's someone who has some certain gears, but still is not Vaibhav Suryavanshi on a flat pitch. He's not going to really score at a strike rate of 2 or 300 or on those lines. And Dhruv Jurel is also is a pretty good player, but all his players will strike it around 170, 180. But someone like Vaibhav Suryavanshi can strike it, yeah, 200, 200 plus. So on the flat pitch, that definitely matters. That could be a matter of 15, 20 runs. Rajasthan Royals ideally had scored 230. If Rajasthan Royals ideally scored 230 runs, they would have basically won this game. So they were short by about 15, 20 runs somewhere, and that basically cost them that basically almost cost them the game. But thankfully, due to some couple of brilliant overs right at the end from Jofra Archer and Tushar Deshpande, they were able to script a jailbreak, because I think on this pitch they needed 225, 230 runs, but I think they have to thank their bowlers for ensuring that they will come out on top.
All right. On the other hand, Shorjani, if I talk about Gujarat Titans, on paper, they've got these brilliant batters at the top of the order. You've got a Sai Sudarshan. Shubman Gill missed out today due to a muscle spasm, and it was Kumar Kushagra who got his debut cap. But Sai Sudarshan, 165 strike rate, do you think that doesn't work for T20, or do you think that's a very invalid argument to have, and it depends from game to game when we talk about strike rate?
Strike rate, it definitely depends from game to game. I mean, today if I like play two balls and if I score 2 runs, I'll get a strike rate of 100 runs. 100, sorry. So I'll get a strike rate of 100. So, on paper, 100 strike rate, it is okay. But we have to look what the situation is of the match. And I think Sai Sudarshan and Kumar Kushagra, both of them were doing a great job. Even though Kumar Kushagra could not score many runs, he just scored 18 runs. But I think he was really playing with the full pace of the bat. And we really saw a couple of excellent drives from him. Even Sai Sudarshan, he looked very confident. He was in complete dominance, and he gave Gujarat the start that they needed. And I think, at one point the match was pretty much in the hands of Gujarat. They could have easily Gujarat Titans. I'm sorry, they could have easily won the match. They could have easily, if Glenn Phillips or Josh Butler would have played a longer innings, then definitely it was Gujarat who were in the favor. But I again think that Rajasthan Royals were exceptional when it came to their bowling attack, and the middle order just collapsed. I mean, Sai Sudarshan, he did his job. He scored 73 runs out of 44 balls. He played the innings that Jurel played for Rajasthan Royals. And then, but I think the middle order collapsed. Josh Butler, Glenn Phillips, and then Washington Sundar, all of them, they could not score properly. Rahul Tewatia, he also collapsed. And I think it was Rashid Khan and Rabada who were, trying their level best to ensure that Gujarat won the game. But however, it was Rajasthan who won. And I think credit has to be given to Riyan Parag as well, because he was an excellent captain. He had a Tushar Deshpande, he had Jofra Archer, he had Sandeep Sharma in his hands, and I think he executed very well. I mean, the 18th over was given to Sandeep, and then the 19th over was given to Jofra Archer, and the last over was bowled by Tushar Deshpande. So I think he was really, he planned it and he executed really well, and in his head, the strategies were clear. He knew what he was going for.
The other, yes, Shomik. Can I ask you the question and then you can add
Please,
your answer
please.
to it?
Yeah,
Washington
absolutely.
Sundar, T20 cricket, not a good match, question mark.
Yeah, the head coach believes he is very good. What more to say? Who are you? Who am I or you to question that? The head coach believes he is very, very good. So from that point of view, we have seen his game is limited. He is not a power hitter, and the only match he played at the T20 World Cup against South Africa at the expense of Akshar Patel, India lost that game, and India sort of dug a hole for themselves by losing that game because the tournament became a knockout for them. So we know Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar is not basically from a distance. It feels like he's not. It's as far as batting is concerned, he's not cut out for T20 cricket in terms of power hitting, in terms of the position he bats. But then again, there are better minds. There are wiser cricket minds. So who am I to question? That is one thing. And one more thing, Gargi, see, as far as the IPL concerned, I'm absolutely not bothered which team is winning or which team is losing, because at the end of the day, Indian cricket is winning. But I'm concerned about something which is a lot more serious. Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill, this this tendency of developing spasms. He's still very, very young, 26 years old. He missed a test series, against South Africa because of developing neck spasm. This time, once again, I think he's very smart guy, and that is why he's the India captain in Test cricket and ODIs. I think he will address this issue because we want Shubman Gill to be fit. We like him as a cricketer. We like him as a person, and he is a super talented player. He is a super talented player. He is the future of Indian batting as far as red ball cricket is concerned. So we want Shubman Gill to be fighting fit. And at this, still, he is still very young. And this tendency of developing spasms, it is not, it going ahead, this might not augur well for him as far as his fitness is concerned. So I will hope that Shubman will address this issue, and that will be to the benefit of Indian cricket.
Okay, we've got a comment here. 200 plus score has become a normal score in franchise cricket. These kind of pitches might impress the crowd, but end the careers of many great bowlers. This is a long debate to have. Bharat, if you could sum up your answer in 2 minutes,
See,
please go ahead.
2 minutes. That's too less. Okay, anyway, I will put it in this way. T20 cricket is not really tailor-made for bowler-friendly pitches. What we can generally see is perhaps pitches where the bowlers get a little more help. Maybe it could be a little more sea movement up front, not as much as what we saw in Guwahati, where the ball was moving around in a zigzag manner, but a little more sea movement up front. Maybe the white kookaburra, if it swings a little more up front, then it could be good. Maybe a little bit of grip, scores of around 160, 190, but you can't get such kind of tracks every single time. I think in this IPL, there has been decent balance. There have been games where the scores have not always been over 200. Even in the first game when Delhi Capitals played, it was a kind of surface where it gripped a bit. Maybe it was on the slower side. You didn't see 200 plus score out there. So I don't think the pitches have been bad in this IPL. And we still got to see in this game as well. We still got to see some really good slog overs bowling from Tushar Deshpande and Jofra Archer. So it was not like the fast bowlers suddenly became extinct because of good conditions for batting. We still saw some pretty good pace bowling out there.
All right. Amit is saying, Gargi, do you think GT should find a way to include Jason Holder in the playing 11? If he's able to add teeth to the middle order, then why not? I think it's a fair and a valid option to explore at this point in time, because when it comes to batting, GT just lacks that explosiveness, and it's not going to take them very far in the tournament, is an opinion that I have, because of the amount of explosiveness that the other teams have in the batting order. They're going to come out there and on flatter decks, they're going to score 220. And will GT necessarily be able to chase those kind of scores, or rather put those kind of scores on the scoreboard, going by the two games that they've played so far? So I think it's a valid question here. Final question. Shomik, you can take this. Now, India has reached a level that there is no need to depend on foreign players to attract the crowd or to see good matches. That was never the case with the IPL. I don't think that was ever the case with the IPL. It
No,
was
Gargi,
all.
what is the question that he is asking for IPL to be an all Indian affair? In that case, it becomes, if that is the case, in that case, IPL becomes a glorified Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy. It no
Yes.
longer, it no longer remains the IPL. I mean, the thing is that the glamour, glitz, everything, the star cast, and all these foreign players who are coming here, they are fantastic cricketers, and they are contributing seriously to the development, even to the development of Indian cricket. You ask so many players will attest that how they have benefited from sharing the dressing room with overseas stars. Someone, yeah, you think about in the Gujarat Titans dressing room, a youngster. He is he is having the privilege of sharing the dressing room with Josh Butler, who is unarguably England's greatest ever white ball player. So if a youngster is having that privilege, this is the beauty of IPL. And look, and in any other, at any other tournament, he will not be having that kind of an opportunity to just share the tournament with such a bona fide great in white ball cricket. And I'm just citing an example. So from that point of view, look, how this is contributing to Indian cricket also. It is, I think, the thought, the very thought of making IPL an all Indian affair is a bit shallow.
I know. I think what he's trying to say is the fact that um, I don't know if he's worded this wrong or what exactly is what he exactly he means, but I also think he's trying to say that India also has so much domestic talent now to attract the crowd that it does not necessarily need the star power of international stars. But I still disagree. I still don't think it was ever about the international players. It was always the Kohlis, the Rohit Sharma, the MS Dhoni, and the others who have driven the crowd to the stadiums. Final question to you, Shorjani. Ravi Bishnoi is a topic that we missed in the discussion tonight. 4 wickets for Ravi. Um, it's been a good season for not season. It's just been 2 matches for some franchisees. But Yuzvendra Chahal came out very well. You're seeing Ravi Bishnoi come out very well. Do you think this could be a season for the spinners?
Definitely. On the other hand, if I talk a little about Kuldeep Yadav, I think he's also having a decent season only. Again, it has been only 2 matches, so it is too early to say. But Ravi Vishnu, he was excellent today. He took 4 crucial wickets, and I think he was the one who dismissed Sai Sudarshan. But he was bowling, his line and length were accurate, and then I think the middle order collapse which happened for the Gujarat Titans, it was basically Ravi Bishnoi who had a big role to play in it. He dismissed Glenn Phillips, he dismissed Washington Sundar, and then Rahul Tewatia. All the middle order batters, they all were dismissed by Ravi Bishnoi, and I think he did a good job. His line and length were accurate. He had his variations were there. He bowled a lot of googlies, also a lot of skidders also. So I think the pitch did play a little bit of assistance, I would say. But again, it happened in the Montera Stadium. We all know that it is a flat pitch, and the batters were the ones who got the more benefit. But again, Ravi Bishnoi, he was excellent. And again, once again, I'm a little biased towards Riyan Parag, so I would say he did a good job adjusting the bowling lineup.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll take what thoughts on Shahrukh taking on Jadeja's arm for 3 runs. Okay. Bharat, closing comments, and then we'll say good night.
Closing comments on this or just about the match? This one, this one. See, these things happen in cricket. It's just you're instinctively trying to take in the run. Yes, it turned out to be Ravindra Jadeja's arm, who has a great arm. So, but in cricket, these are things that are taken instinctively. Such kind of decisions, it just happened in the moment. So it will keep happening in the future too, and some will get run out and some others won't. So I not much to add on it.
All right, then. We'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Shorjani, Bharat, and Shomik. We'll be back tomorrow once again. It's going to be a double-headed day, so don't forget to join us first for the 12 noon live, and then we'll go live at 3 p.m. ahead of the first game and after the two games have concluded. So join us then. Stay tuned to Rev Sports.